This episode of Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. To get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Luca Parrish, and you are listening to the Capes and the Lunatics Sidekicks podcast.
We are vengeance. We are the night.
The Batman podcast.
Nice. Anyway, welcome back. This is a good one. But they are all good when it's us. That's right. It is me, Phil. And, as always, making her triumphant return, it is.
I was never gone, but it's
Well,
right?
Oh yeah. One side, two, and one. Know my name? That's right, kids. Today we're going to be covering Batman Legends of the Dark Knight 16 through 20, Venom. No, not that one. By the great Denny O'Neil. God rest his soul.
Bait and switch. Bait and switch.
Oh my god, can you imagine I just put this up on YouTube and put a picture of Venom on there? Batman and Venom. When does Venom show up? I mean, it was still early, but I mean, these issues are from 1991. The character was around.
Don't give them any ideas.
I see you, Denny. All right, well, we're gonna have to talk these through manually because I was like, the summaries were like one sentence summaries. It was like issue 16. Batman gets hooked on designer drugs.
I mean, he was a rich white guy. It was only, we only had a matter of time before they covered this.
Well, sometimes people are passing around weaponized hallucinogens at the club. Get it?
Yeah, I get it.
Oh. All right. So, yes, it starts in Batman.
It could be worse. It could have been Vertigo.
Oh, which one?
Anything from Arrow.
I was gonna say which one. There was like what, 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, I think there were 2.
All right, so yes, first one is Batman Legends of the Dark Knight number 16 from March 1991.
I feel so old.
That's right, because like I said, story Denny O'Neil, layouts Trevor Von Eden, pencils Russell Braun, inks Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. We speak your name. Willie Schubert letters, Steve Olive colors, Julian Helfer editors.
Let's see how well this holds up.
Let's see, because remember, kids, you want to know the origin of the venom that Bane takes?
I mean, literally nobody. Diddy O'Neil back in my day.
Well, this came out before Bane showed up, so was this like his master plan? Because didn't Bane show up in like 92? So it's like, let's just throw this in a year.
I know, right? It's weird.
Mastermind. This might be the first appearance of Santa Prisca too.
I think it is.
Yeah, because it begins with Batman has to go down in the sewer because there's a kidnapped girl down there.
As there always are. It's Gotham.
Sissy Porter.
That name couldn't fly in this day and age.
I was going to say, tell me that's a nickname. Tell me someone did a name there. Well, we'll meet the fall.
Well, it is a popular old school nickname.
I guess.
A lot of people I know call their like their great aunts and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, it is Gotham. We got a kid named Dick running around.
Exactly. Plot twist. The guy that's in control of him is actually the Dick.
Oh.
Sorry, Bruce.
It's great to have you back. But of course it's Gotham, so that the sewers are like falling apart.
Name me something besides Wayne Tech / Enterprises in Gotham and Bruce's house is not falling apart in Gotham. I'll wait.
Name me 5 things in Gotham that aren't falling apart. Be here all night. But no, of course, it's pouring down rain, so the sewer's filling with water, and this girl's like,
Oh no, wait! The school that Batman funds for orphans for future sidekicks. That school's doing fine.
"Oh, good lord." Oh, you mean Titans Academy? The one came out this week.
Nice.
Sentals and Robin's there. Bring me more cannon fodder. So yeah, like I said, the sewer's collapsing. So there's like a big wall of debris between Batman and this girl, and the water's rising. She's tied to a chair.
Like something out of Batman 66.
Well, he's trying to move all those boulders, but then there's one big one that won't move.
Ruh-roh.
Tries to get under it. No go. And, well, it's a year 1, so he failed. No Bat God yet, kids.
This better be in The Batman. I'm going to need to see this scene in The Batman. Or as I like to call it now, Le Batman.
Le Batman.
Le Batman.
Oh. So yeah, so Bruce goes home all depressed. She died. I was too weak to save her.
It could be worse. He could have started carrying a gun.
Oh.
Batman Beyond reference. Sorry.
I thought you were going to say Batman Year 2.
We don't talk about Batman Year 2.
I thought it was some fine detective. Denny getting all meta. Oh, I thought it was some fine detective. Traced the kidnapper through his known associates and found a pair of rubber boots in his room and analyzed the mud on them and figured out he must have taken that girl to the abandoned water tunnel. I was right, but I wasn't strong enough.
Doubt in the mind of Bruce Wayne? This is refreshing. Too bad somebody had to die.
Well, it's year 1. Again, it's year 1. He's going to put all doubt out of his mind eventually. But I love he's like, I failed. And Alfred's like, did you expect you never would?
He's a white man. Of course he didn't.
Oh. Hey, Russell. He really could use that Batman 66 bomb.
I agree.
Yeah, let's bring more of the tunnel down on the girl. Okay.
Could be worse. We could have bat shark repellent.
Hey, comics teach you stuff, kids. I just learned from a comic book this week that what is it? Alfred Nobel, who started the Nobel Prize, was also the inventor of dynamite.
So we have him to blame. I see.
That's right, kids. Go read your King in Black Spider-Man #1.
There's worse crossovers. That's just the tagline for King in Black. And there's just like, you know who we're talking about.
It could be worse. Alfred's like, tell him to change out a filthy costume. He's like, no, I got one more thing.
No, I like it.
No, I got one more thing to do. I got to break the news to Sissy's father. So he gets to the house at 4 a.m. Almost 4. Yeah, 4 a.m.
Nothing good happens after midnight, kids.
Around the 4 a.m. around the time Lilith's like, damn, the bottle's empty.
More like the bartender's kicking me out, but whatever. Well, soon. Hopefully soon.
Hey, but I just love Batman's like, oh, I can't tell you how sorry I am. And the father doesn't really, barely looking up from whatever he's doing. So again, it's been our first warning. The father doesn't even like hardly look up.
I mean, it's just a daughter.
Oh,
You need those.
Oh, that's a point I want to get to at the end of this. But yeah, Batman is the Batman trying to get this guy to cry because he's like, she died alone in terror and pain.
No, he's just confused. He's like, wait a minute, shouldn't he be sad? What's going on here?
The guy, who knows what awful things would have happened to her if she had lived.
Well, it's true they live in Gotham, so they're just living through PTSD every day.
Sure, true. Yeah, the way people resurrect in this town, I'm waiting for her to come back as like a villain or something.
It was Punchline all along.
Oh.
I mean, it's 20 years. I'm just saying.
Let's just go stab Charlie Esser in the heart. But the
Sorry, those are the comics today. That's when you know you're too old.
We're doing me now. But Batman's like, something bothers me. You said the kidnappers didn't want money. What was he asking for? These handful of capsules. Just like, oh, these magic beans.
Basically.
What are they? Are you familiar with the term designer drugs? Probably not. I love how this guy just like constantly berates, but like, you're stupid, Batman.
He's trying to get the stench of rich white man off of him. That's all year one is, you know.
I know.
I gotta blend in and move like the criminals.
And I doubt you'd understand. Try me. Basically, what I do is alter the molecular structure of certain chemicals to obtain results not found in nature. Custom make them as it were to enhance human potential. And then
I think he meant Adderall. Adderall was the word he was looking for.
Other going to say steroids.
Adderall, or I forget the exact thing that they based Limitless off of, but it kind of sort of is a drug, kind of like that, but not to the extreme.
But Batman's like naming off a couple other experiments. He's like, oh, the same kind of experiments are doing in Missouri, at Missouri Tech.
CIA, baby, CIA.
And the doctor's like, yeah, well, I'm in the same ballpark. But they're satisfied with going for a 4-bagger.
Whatever weird term that is.
Well, baseball, because he's like, then I cross. I've already crossed.
Again, whatever weird term that is. Baseball is.
Talking about his bat, little hellfire. And the doctor's like, here, go on, take one. Give in to the peer.
Okay, rule number 1 in the hood: don't take strange drugs from strangers.
Seriously.
Batman, come on, bro. We learned this at 3 years old. You know?
Oh, this was the origin of the Venom, and plus it's like the our 1991 say no to drugs, kids.
And we all know how that campaign turned out, Nancy.
Oh.
In case anybody was ever wondering what's the step above Karen, a step above Deborah, it's Nancy.
Yeah, but it's 91 now.
If we can make that a thing.
Now it's 91, Loaf. It's Bush.
It's still say to no. That's her campaign that she started. That was her thing.
Oh, look, Batman says, not interested. One more question. Did you give in to the kidnappers' demands? The doctor, give over 5 years of work? No. Is there anyone else in the house? No, I live alone since my wife died. Are you expecting
Snap.
it? What?
Snap his neck and take the drugs.
No,
it's Gotham. Nobody will care.
Well, as we'll see later, he needs the guy to make more than drugs. And then somebody fires a machine gun through the door.
Just another day in Gotham.
Batman just like punches him across the room. What in blue blazes? One of the kidnappers. Call the cops. I'm going after his partner. Batman. Instead, this Batman crashes out the window.
There goes those windows.
It's like a moving
Superheroes and windows.
I know. And I guess the partner's in a moving van. He takes off. Batman jumps on top. But it's
as you do.
It's a stormy night. It's pouring down rain. Oh, look at this fancy man. He hits a telephone pole just to knock Batman loose.
You know, I would have loved it if they would have made Gotham like Faranar, just constantly raining, no matter what day, just always dark and raining.
That'd be funny. I thought it always was. least at night.
Now we've seen Gotham in the daytime and stuff. I mean, it
Yeah.
looks awful, but
Well, yeah. So
just a nice little, just another nice dirty acid rain coming down, peeling the paint off buildings. I feel like that's just a chef's kiss touch they could use for future reference.
who's Jeff? Never mind. I was gonna say, get it? Jeff's kiss. Chef's kiss. And Batman comes home even more muddy. I've heard when wrestling is all the rage, Alfred's like,
See, sassy Alfred, fun Alfred.
"Don't start, Alfred. Not now." So he goes down to the cave, starts pumping iron.
Like you're not Eddie Brock, sir. Put the weights down.
He put 630 pounds on that bar because he's like, that's the weight of the rock he couldn't move. I mean, I know he's the Batman,
Who
but
does he think he is? Bruce Willis and Hello and Unbreakable? You know, like what are you doing, buddy?
I know, it's just like 630 pounds. Okay, dude, I get it. You're the Batman, but come on.
You honestly can't have the physique of Bruce Wayne in real life and actually be like a not a bodybuilder, but like actually like a strong man. Like your frame actually can't handle it. That's why they're big and round. It's like you have to even yourself out. So you were never gonna be moving 630 pounds at like 6'2" and 210 pounds, sir.
No, because he's
never gonna do it.
He gets too big. He's not gonna be fast or any,
Exactly. There's trade-offs.
Exactly. Oh, right. Russell said he needs you on his show on Tone.
Anytime, buddy.
I was gonna say I'm scheduled for like the end of April. Oh, Russell, she could join. I think I'm doing two villains. Russell, she can join us for or both if she wants. I was gonna say Reverse Flash Talk.
Yes, I'm down for Reverse Flash.
I think. If you want the other one, I mean, we would have to invite somebody else. But I said Reverse Flash and Auto.
Oh, I'm good. I'm good on Auto. That's not my area of expertise.
I know who volunteered for that in a second.
Where to me now?
All right. So, yeah, and then he hurts his deltoid.
As you do.
Torn,
I mean,
probably.
lifting weights is a dangerous game you're playing, sir.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing I do like about the how they draw Eddie Brock. He is true, literal like meathead. He's wide and the whole thing.
And then once that suit comes in the picture, you don't have to worry about how realistically fast and stuff he'd be because that suit's doing all the work.
Get Batman a symbiote. That's all.
Oh jeez. You yelled at me when I said he's getting a healing factor. You were like, let's strap an alien to him.
Exactly.
But then Alfred's like, I don't know. Bruce is like, get the car. He's scraping paint off the pole that was hit.
They're trying to be like, see, he's smart sometimes. See, guys?
He gets it under the microscope, makes a few calls, the body shops, and see him bragging some guy. Oh, then they show him making a call to District Attorney Harvey Dent.
That's not going to turn out well. Stick a feather in your cap, kids.
That didn't age well. Because it's always like, oh, we'll clean up this city. Okay.
Honestly, the only way to clean up Gotham is to blow it off the map. I'm just saying. Just start fresh.
But yeah, Bruce is like all injured and tired because he's like trying to explain that
he's human.
He's trying to explain to Alfred about Harvey Dent, and Alfred's like, I know about Harvey Dent. Dent says that one of the names from the body shop disguises a record, including suspicion of kidnapping. Oh yeah, here we go. Because Alfred's like, Master Bruce, it's been at least 96 hours since you slept.
Yeah, I don't care how well trained you are. Your body's your body, bro. You're gonna need to go to sleep, or you're gonna start hallucinating, and not in a good fun mushroom way.
And he's like, I can see even through your coat. Yeah, that shoulder's like swollen to like twice its normal size.
Hey, guess what? Your body needs sleep so it can recover and recuperate from the trauma you put it through every day. It's not smart.
I know. You're mumbling and barely coherent. Oh, it is Brock. I really must insist you see a doctor and then retire. No. I couldn't save the girl. I watched her die. I can get the scum who killed her. Can't
Ooh,
rest.
that manly stubbornness of not going to the doctor. Can you just feel the testosterone coursing through you?
And Alfred's like, if you keep on doing stuff like this, I'm gonna resign. And Batman just like gets out of the car. Did he even hear
It's
me?
like, no, you're not. You're too busy having butler parties when I'm gone, bro.
Polishing the silver.
Nice.
Thank you. So yeah, Batman goes up the fire escape to this apartment. There's two guys in there. Oh, so it seems
You
like
know what Gotham needs? You know what I feel like we don't get enough of? Or like actual abandoned warehouses. Like, I know, and maybe they just do that on purpose because that's all Marvel has. Everybody has an abandoned warehouse secret lair. So these guys just have like these rundown, crappy apartments and stuff.
I don't know. There's always like abandoned like ice factories or playing
Well,
card
those are
factories.
factories. I'm like with that actual like functioning machinery. Like, no, in Marvel, it's like, no, this is just empty, abandoned. We cleaned out the whole thing.
I mean, how much can real estate be in Marvel New York? I mean, they had like Jameson as mayor, now Fisk as mayor. Come on.
Yeah, Marvel New York. I don't know.
Remember, it's all dangerous. No OSHA. But yeah, there's two guys in this apartment. The one's like, guy wasn't pressing charges. Oh, so Sissy's father wasn't pressing charges, huh? I look at this other meathead. I could have taken him if I didn't have to drive the car.
Well, I mean, it is year one Batman. He's right. We're not
Maybe.
gonna argue that.
But Batman through the window. You're going to police headquarters, both of you. You'll confess to the kidnapping to either Captain James Gordon or Assistant District Attorney Harvey Dent.
I wouldn't count on Harvey, but maybe your boo could help you. Maybe.
And of course, the meathead again's like, I can take him. You're welcome to try. Wait, so the big meathead is named Patsy?
Get it?
Oh yeah. It's Patsy. It's Pat.
He really wants to go to jail.
I don't think he wants to make any friends there. Where did your friendship start?
It's in his prison purse. Come on, this is the Batman show. Do the other one.
Wait, what? You have to be more specific.
In your booty. There you go. Nobody told Rob.
I was gonna say you have to narrow it down. Every drop, I have like 80 drops of you, and each one is either a penis joke or a butt joke.
Nice. My inner 12-year-old is pleased with that information.
Oh yeah, before Saturday, I want to start your second page.
Oh God.
Seriously,
I mean, honestly, I don't even have to show up to the Snyder Cut review. You could just use my drops.
Don't you dare!
Nobody would know.
Don't you dare! You got a week off. Hey,
he's like, you got out of Falcon and Winter Soldier, sister.
Exactly. And I need all the backup I can get with some of the.
Oh yeah, we got a wild bunch. I got you, buddy.
Yeah, we got a really wild bunch.
We're doing me now.
So yeah, I love the meathead takes a swing at Batman. Batman blocks it, but then he feels it in that shoulder.
I mean, honestly though, yeah, you don't really want anything to do with your back muscles. Once you ruin those, they're ruined for life. Sorry to ruin it for you, kids.
But Batman's still taking this guy down until his partner comes. Oh my lord, this is like a trope in DC. He hits Batman on the shoulder with a lamp.
Cause he's shady.
Oh.
Suck it, Conan.
Oh, because in the first episode of Sector 2814, when we're covering the first appearance of Hal Jordan, he gets taken out with a yellow lamp. Get it? Yellow?
Yeah, I get it. Suck it, Conan.
So yeah, Batman, like, I guess, passes out from the pain for a second. Here, hold him, Patsy, while I punch him.
No, you take the cowl off. Come on. You can't be this stupid.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say.
The first thing I'm doing.
I was gonna say, did he hit the cow? Is his arm? He looks like he punches Batman in the chin, but then the guy's like, "Ow!" Like his hand hurts.
No, it's just that strong Bruce chin, bro. Have you seen that chin? It can cut. It can cut ice. It can cut diamonds.
Yeah, it's Jay Leno, see?
Yikes.
And Patsy goes to punch him, and Bruce is just thinking, he knows his only chance is not to resist, to ride the force of the blow as he gets punched out the window.
Hey, do you think Mac McKnight was that Moon McKnight or whatever that was from McDonald's? Do you think he was based on Jay Leno? I feel like
I don't know.
It was a little shade. What came first?
I have no idea. Hey, I heard there's a podcast.
Anybody over the age of like 27 probably does not know what the hell we're talking about.
Hey, I heard there's a whole podcast about it.
Whoa, that's pretty damn big.
Oh, not that guy. Never that guy.
I know. So
Until
Bruce,
April, you see, kids.
Oh yeah, that's right. Come back. Yeah, April. I'll have a special guest with me.
Poor Ray Ray.
And Lilith will be talking to Moon Knight. Good lord. So Bruce is hanging from the fire escape till he passes out and hits the street. Oh, then look, the two patsies hit. Oh, there's a mysterious the mysterious mastermind.
Isn't there always?
Let him go. His time has not yet come. And then Bruce is like hallucinating Superman.
Well, that tracks. Who's the bottom may shock you.
Hell! Are we talking buns of steel here?
Exactly.
Yeah, he sees hallucinating Superman, Sissy Porter, and then she becomes Alfred. Hot air balloons and cheese blintzes. Huh?
Those are interesting references.
I said,
leave it alone.
He's like, I said that I told the physician who reassembled you that you fell from a hot air balloon onto a picnic table full of cheese blintzes. The story is too ludicrous to be disbelieved. Whatever you were smoking, Denny, damn.
Do they still make it?
Ruby,
Maybe he was on some lemons, bro. Some straight Wolf of Wall Street type stuff. I don't know.
smoke.
No, that's not a doobie, bro. I'm just gonna let you know. Never in my mind
He's
have
dropping.
I ever come up with something like that.
He was dropping something.
He had some Quaaludes, some lemons, something.
Alfred, didn't you tender your resignation? You did hear. Indeed, I did.
I can't go have butler parties if I'm not a butler.
Indeed, I shall resign presently in 40 or 50 years.
That's pretty presumptuous of you, Alfred, considering what he's doing. Eventually, he's gonna get found out, and you're either gonna die or go to jail with him.
Yeah. But he's putting his suit back on, and Alfred's like, "Wait a minute! Don't worry, I'm not blundering into trouble again. At least not tonight." Goes back.
It's his comfort blanket. Leave him alone. The bat suit is Batman's comfort blanket. He is Linus. Leave him alone.
But he goes back to Porter's house, and he's like, "Those pills you mentioned, yes, right here."
It's like, about those drugs. Should I snort these, shoot them up, inhale them? Like, what are we talking here?
I can dispose of those for you. But yeah, the doctor says, "Take one a day." He's taking his male supplement, one a day.
Not sponsored, but if they want to sponsor us, they're more than welcome to.
You'll find they are true friends. I imagine you spend a lot of time in the gym. Well, no more. One capsule will replace all that sweaty grunting and groaning you must do to keep in shape.
Then what are you gonna do for fun? Hey.
Hey-oh.
Now those are the side effects, kids.
It'll replace all that sweating and grunting, although if it lasts more than 4 hours, consult a doctor. You'll find better time. You'll find better use for the time, I'm sure. Oh, it gives them a bag of a month's supply.
That's how they get you. First month's free.
Yeah, because Bruce goes home, lifts that lifts that barbell up like nothing.
I don't think that's how that works, but okay.
I know.
We're not going to be real at all about how that works.
I know.
That's fine.
Just in the time it took him to get home, and it took its full effect.
Plot twisted with shrooms the whole time.
Well, I mean, look, when Bane was pumping it right into his veins, it was instantaneous.
Well, yeah, okay, I can believe that. Are you gonna? Yeah, if Bruce
I know.
that in the back of his head, sure.
I know. It has to go through the muscle. I mean, through the stomach. I know. So Batman shows up at the bar, finds the two guys, finds the two kidnappers. You weren't. Hard to find as he just throws one guy across the bar.
He's like, I heard you was talking stuff about me.
And then big meathead Patsy says, I can take you. Throws a punch. Batman catches it, punches him right in the face.
Right in the kisser. Pow, right in the kisser.
This TV John Walker looking guy.
Not in the face.
And Batman just punches him through the bar window.
Well, they keep the window makers in business, that's for sure.
I know. Look, and it's probably happened so many times. It's just named Bar. It just says Bar in the window. Doesn't even have a name.
They change it like every 3 months. It goes out of business. Somebody else buys it. That's actually my headcanon. Every bar you see Batman going to is the same bar. It's just new ownership.
Yeah.
Under new management.
So Batman's just throwing these guys around like nothing, and then the last thing they show is him just standing there laughing.
Oh, kids.
He's off the rails, kids. All right, issue 17, Venom.
I mean, he was never really on the rails. It's just he's more of the train is off the tracks at this point.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, part 2, issue 17 from April 91.
20 years ago. Where did the time go?
And we just see him just like mowing through this mob of guys. He's not wearing the batsuit, though. He's wearing a trench coat and a fedora.
Hey-oh. He's pulling the old Ben Grimm.
It's clobbering time.
I see you, Denny. I see you.
Oh, look at this. He like even rips a radiator off the wall and just like about to bash this guy with
That's
it.
called roid rage, but who gonna tell him?
I let him see my grin and watch the fear seep into his eyes like oil seeping into a dirty pond. When I spoke, my voice was full of broken glass.
And thus the Batman voice was born.
Oh, Lord. Where's the trigger? So not only these pills make him strong, they make him a fancy man.
So many levels to that joke. I'm just going to let that float.
Oh, he's looking for a drug dealer. Isn't that ironic?
Isn't it ironic?
Don't you think? But yeah, this guy he's questioned says, Willie, big guy, hangs at Slick's car service. And
oh my God, Willie hangs at Slick's. Okay, Diddy was definitely on one, bro.
Did
he have one eye too?
Oh.
Were there subtext or a dirty joke to be found? I will find it. Rest assured.
He's always spitting, you see. But Bruce is like, I put Willie in the hospital 6 hours earlier. It'd been fun. I hate junkies, he says.
Isn't it ironic? We're gonna need a drop.
I know.
Need that as a drop.
I listened to him gasp for a while after he punches him in the junk. I enjoyed it.
Wait a minute. Did Bruce ever get off Venom? Because this is just literally modern day Batman.
I know.
Is that the secret? He never gave it up?
Maybe. Alfred's all like, what was the point of this? Scare him, Alfred. Make him afraid to show their faces.
I'm just saying, start thinking about it. All these classic characteristics.
Everybody in that hotel had a rap sheet as long as your arm. And Alfred's like, they have done nothing illegal recently. Hell, they were bent. I could smell it.
Wow.
And Alfred's like,
Judge, jury, and executioner, huh?
And Alfred's like, this new toxicology book showed up. He's like, yeah, whatever. And he's still lifting weights, 690 pounds.
Not with that physique, Bruce, but whatever.
Well, it's the drugs.
I know, but
And Alfred's like,
it was
wait.
sugar pills. That's the gag.
And Alfred's like, we said when you began taking those drugs, you'd have, you could spend less time in the gym and more time studying. He's like, yet in the 3 months you've been taking them, you haven't read a single book and you barely glance at a newspaper.
So he's turning into Eddie Brock. Okay.
I was gonna say, I thought the drugs turned him into a Trump supporter.
Hey now, that's not nice.
I know.
Don't kick people when they're down.
Maybe I've gotten past the need to read.
No, sir. No.
Maybe that's just the phase I had to get through. How dare you?
All the comic book kids are like, wait a minute, what? Did
I
Batman
know.
just call me a nerd?
Did Denny just call me a nerd? Who's Batman?
Now shut up and give me your lunch money.
And Alfred just like he holds up the bat. So you used to wear this on your nocturnal forays. May I ask why that is no longer so? Damned if I know. It just doesn't feel comfortable anymore. That is an answer. Another is that perhaps has come to represent that something that is ashamed by your present behavior.
Ooh.
Oh,
Burn.
Burn.
We all know Batman's a nutcase, so yeah.
I've got nothing to be ashamed of. Get that loud and clear? Nothing. If you think I do, maybe you're one of them. One of who? The weaklings, the snivellers, who let the city become a sewer.
Oh yeah, Batman has turned into a gym bro, guys. This is not good.
Oh no, yeah. Next thing you know, he's gonna be tanning and doing his laundry.
I'm telling Danielle.
Where are you going? Away from you. Maybe you should keep walking. So Alfred's quitting for real this time.
Sure, Dan.
Shamed he is. Maybe I'll show him. Of course, maybe I was a little rough on him. So and then we see Batman go back to Dr. Porter. Looking for more pills. Certainly, but first, here's someone I'd like you to meet. General Timothy Ashton Slaycroft.
No good can come from that name, folks. That's way too many names. Way too many syllables.
And with Slay in your name? You're an American general and a retired American general, Mr. United States Army for almost 40 years.
That explains it.
He smells of bay rum and starch.
That explains it. No shade.
Till they wised up and put me out to pasture. But he's still asking for the pills, and Porter's like, wait a minute, the general has an offer to make you. And the general's like, a private outfit has hired me as a consultant on a project that involves national security. I'd like you aboard.
You're gonna trust a guy with a secret identity that runs around in a... Okay.
Well, the whole operation ain't on the up and up, but
exactly. So here's your sign.
And he's like, I'll think about it. But then he's like, I'll think about it. He's like, Dr. Porter. Doctor's like, oh, you want these?
Paging Dr. Porter. Paging Dr. Porter.
He said, like when you give your dog a treat. Oh, you want these? Do you?
Sit and be a good boy. Give me paw.
Dr. Porter, yes. Oh, only 4. I've been busy. Didn't have time to make up any more. Is that a problem? No, of course not. Can you return later in the week? Sure, no sweat. You have anything else for me? Any information? Afraid not. You'll do it on your own. What?
All I'm saying is Oliver Queen would never. He would never.
Sure, I'll go check on Patsy and Brew, the punks who tried to rip you off the night your daughter was kidnapped. Patsy and Brew. Then look, Porter's like, oh no, maybe not them. Maybe there's other criminals you can harass. Okay, sure. Warning sign.
Yeah.
And the general's like, well, I'm pleased. We're in the ballpark. You notice how dull he seemed? The Batman is dull. And how anxious he was to get the capsules. Another weekend, he's ours. Mm. But then Porter's like, we got a problem. 2 problems. Patsy and Brew. If he finds out the information I've been feeding him comes from them. The General's like, yeah, that you've been using Kim to wipe out their competition and you've been doing business with them.
Cue the music.
True that. And the General's financing the whole thing. Oh Lord. But yeah. Goodbye, Patsy and Brew. The General. There's an old military principle, Mr. Never carry dead weight. I'll take care of it. And then meanwhile, Batman tackles a young man outside. It's General's son, Timmy Slaycroft.
Wait a minute.
I'm waiting for my daddy. General Timothy Slaycroft, same as my name, Steve. I'm a junior. Yes. Yes, he's kind of slow. See, my daddy doesn't like people to see me. That's why I hide, big as I am. You have no reason to hide. You look okay to me.
Oh.
And then Batman just like walks away. Oh look, but he goes to the hotel where Patsy and Brew are because he's like the place he had been asked to avoid, but he is who he is and nobody tells him what to do.
Ruh-roh.
That's gonna be on Lilith's tombstone. Nobody told her what
I do what I want.
I want to bash
Damn straight.
I want to bash some heads in. I'll bash some heads in. So yeah, he's coming up the steps and here's some gunfire, but when he gets up there, they're dead. And he sees
dead weight, gotta go.
But then outside he sees 2 men get into a car. No way to catch them, but to stop them, yes, maybe as he picks up the refrigerator and
there's not a body in it.
Puts it through the wall and it crushes the car.
I don't think that's how that works, but okay. Made for a great panel.
Then he rips the door. He gets down there, rips the door off the car. The ugly groan of twisting steel and a voice that is even uglier.
You say darkness is your friend.
No. Mr. Wayne, you did the dirtbags upstairs. You're going to tell me why, but not right away. First, I'm going to hurt you a while.
Well, he's got to get those pent up sexual tensions out some way.
Oh, my. And as he's threatening the one guy, hears someone yell, Mister, watch out. As the other guy's got a gun pointed at his back. But no, the guy's threatening gets killed, and then the guy in the car gets killed as another car drives away. So Batman hears sirens, so he just runs away. Oh, look, we finally see Boo. Basically, they're going to... Once all the results from the prints and the car and everything. And the ballistics report. And as the cop leaves, Batman comes in. I'd be interested in that report, too.
Long time no see.
Yeah, I know. Gordon's like, I was wondering when you'd show up. If you'd show up. It's been 3 months. Been on vacation.
He's like, I missed you, Boo. I would have called you, but ain't got your number.
I'm on a payphone.
Nice.
You shouldn't smoke. Research shows that nicotine is as addictive as heroin. Again with the
kettle pot. Hello?
I know. Again, calling people addicts.
He's projecting. It's fine.
Gordon's like, yeah, I know. Emphysema, heart disease, it makes you smell lousy. What do you want to tell me something?
See, kids?
Want to tell me something I don't know, Batman? Depends. What don't you know? I don't know. Who's been going around busting heads? Some guy in a hat and trench coat. Tell me about that.
He's like, yeah, why you ain't in the sexy suit like I told you to be, boy?
Oh, my God. You look different, bigger, beefier. I switched breakfast cereals. I'm eating the kind that's fortified with vitamins and minerals.
Vitamin D?
Oh!
I mean, vitamin V. My fault. Force a habit, reflex. Sorry, kids. False alarm.
Somebody had something on the brain.
Well, duh, I'm Lilith.
Oh, that has to become a drop. Duh,
You're
I'm Lilith.
welcome.
Duh.
Hey, if you need a cleaner cut, let me know.
Duh, I'm Lilith.
So you hated it? Duh, I'm Lilith.
You smack them around. Duh, I'm Lilith. Then Batman starts asking Gordon about the wife and kids. You never asked about them before. I'd rather you did it again. I'd like to keep our relationship professional.
Whoa. If that ain't a side chick conversation, I ain't never heard one, but okay.
Don't be bringing up your wife. You're bringing up my wife. So Batman says sorry and swings out the window. He says he'll be calling about the ballistics report. But he's thinking something's wrong. Usually he feels excitement swinging across the city. But not tonight. Tonight the city's just an accumulation of stone, steel, and flesh, and he's just a man on a rope. Then we see Slaycroft and Porter planning something.
It could be worse. He could be a man in a box.
Oh. The masked man, is he ready for the next phase? He swallowed the hook. All I have to do is give it a little tug and reel him in.
Kids today are like, wait, this is a Batman story? Really?
I know. And we see
They're like, modern comics could never.
and we find out the general shot the gun that killed the guys, so he saved Batman. Then Bruce in the cave, Alfred calling for Alfred. He's like, "Where's the butler? Oh, I forgot, he's not here. Left a note. Quit."
I quit, dear John.
It's like no one to talk to. Maybe I can talk to the bats. They won't answer, but they will listen. That's all Alfred would have done anyway.
Excuse me?
Well, I mean,
the audacity!
No, Alfred talked. Bruce just never listened.
Exactly. Give me the old backhand, you know? Just...
Yeah. So he's talking to himself while he's lifting weights. He's like, the kid in the car that drove off. Yes, I guess it was Timmy Slaycroft Jr. that shouted, "Look out."
Watch out for that tree.
But he's having trouble lifting his weight, so he goes to his pill bag and it's empty.
Uh-oh.
Did he just get like 4 pills? What the hell?
He probably downed him in one gulp, bro. Like,
That's true. That fix ain't enough now.
well, yeah, your tolerance builds, and it's all part of the drug dealer's master plan.
I love he goes to Porter's house. He doesn't even knock. He just kicks the door.
It's like, enough games. Give me my drugs.
Give them to me. Give what to you? You know. I want you to tell me the pills. Are you prepared to earn them?
He's like that Dave Chappelle sketch. Got any more of that? Got any more of them pills, man? Lips all chapped.
You got any more of that Venom? You got any more of that Venom?
Oh, thank God we can watch Chappelle's show with a clear conscience now.
Exactly. I just love, like, the general's like, "Are you prepared to earn them?" And he's like, "What do you mean earn them?"
Nice.
Dr. Porter and I are engaged in an enterprise. His interest is purely scientific. Mine is practical. But yeah.
Like, yeah, whatever. As he's pulling his pants down.
Oh,
Nobody tell Rob.
what does Slaycroft get out of it? A small group of men who will be able to deal with the filth that is overwhelming the nation. The junkies, the cheats, the shiftless, incompetent that are sucking us dry. You know who I am.
Is this the Purge?
When they hand Batman a picture and say, "You know this man. Do you know who this is? It's Jim, the cop, Gordon, lieutenant or captain or whatever." Very good. We'd like you to do something very easy. Kill him. Understand? And Batman says, "No sweat."
Come on now.
Talk about your messy breakups.
Come on now. He did say he wanted to keep it professional, so that's on him.
True. All right, so Venom Part 3, issue 18, May 91, picks up right where the last one left off.
He's making his way downtown. He's walking fast, but he is not homebound, sir.
Oh, damn. So what do you say? I'll bring you his head on a platter with an apple in his mouth. No, the apple's not necessary. So yeah, Batman goes to kill Gordon as he's walking
Sure.
as he's walking his dog. He's a cop. He's expecting trouble. You know, if he was an ordinary killer, Gordon would be aware of him. But ordinary killers aren't trained. He just
There's
goes.
a whole bunch of people that would like to have a word with you, Bruce, in the DC universe alone.
I mean, he's going through the list of people trained them. I'm thinking, yeah, but wouldn't you? I don't know. Be kind of.
Isn't the first rule don't become behooved to anyone for any reason?
And wouldn't he be clumsy on all them drugs? I love how he's.
That's the thing about drugs, man. They don't get you in the right mental headspace. You don't know what the hell you're doing.
I know. I'm saying. I'm like, he's stupid as a brick, but all of a sudden, yeah, he's like stealthy like a ninja.
You gotta remember, it's Bruce. His ego, it knows no bounds.
I know. So he jumps out of a tree. I've come to kill you. What? I mean, I've been sent to kill you, and when I don't, they'll send someone else. So he tells them, yeah, Porter and Timothy Slaycroft. And Gordon's like, are you all right?
What'd you do to piss those guys off?
Are you all right? Yes, no. I'm going after them. Maybe I'll get them. If not, you hit them in the morning. You hear me?
You just got cut off, Bruce. Congratulations.
I know. But Batman goes back and gives them the whole speech. You're going to police headquarters to, confess to Gordon or, Harvey Dent. The general tries to stop Batman. He knocks him on his face. Father. And then Batman's throwing Porter around, but then he's like, because Batman's like, you're going downtown. It's like, am I? He's like, you recognize these? And he pulls out a bag of pills and throws them into the bushes.
Damn.
So they escape while Batman's hunting for them pills.
Damn. That's embarrassing, bro.
I know, but then because he seems all happy, but then he's like, he suddenly stops. He struggles to recognize the feeling that seems to be squeezing the life from him. After a minute, he does, as he pours them pills out.
Ooh, that withdrawal is going to be nasty.
I know. He calls Alfred. Next, he calls Alfred. I don't know if he's staying in a hotel or an apartment, but yeah, he calls him.
He's with his secret side chick that gave us Julia Pennyworth, but it's fine.
Hey-o. He's like,
it's fine. We won't talk about it.
Leslie Tompkins' house. Alfred, it's me. If it were not 5 a.m, I would leap for joy. Do you have a reason for calling? And Bruce is like, I need your help. I don't have anyone else. I want you to lock me in the cave. Don't let me out for a month, no matter what.
Kids, don't try that at home. That's not how withdrawal works.
Well, it's Batman. And then, yeah, Alfred's like, I'll be there. And Batman just like takes out his frustration on a phone booth.
And this, kids, is why we don't have phone booths anymore.
This is why we don't have nice things, kids.
The last payphone in Gotham is 1991. Great job, Bruce.
I know. So, yeah, back to the mansion. Alfred's like, are you sure you want to do this? Don't argue, damn it. Do as I say. He's like, let me be sure I'm certain. I'm not to open any entrance to the cave for any reason for at least a month. You have enough food and water? He's like, I told you.
He sets the cave on fire. Well, I'm sick of that guy.
He's like, the entrance into the house and the one for the car. He's like, what about the other exits? I've bricked them up.
Who's to say you won't rip those bricks down? But okay.
Well, he doesn't have any sledgehammers or anything down there. Isn't there anyone is there another way? Someone who could be of an assistance, a physician, perhaps? And then Alfred's like, no, I guess not. You are who you are.
Burn.
Then we see, Slaycroft, Porter, and Junior flying to Santa Prisca.
They're making their army of men.
We'll probably
We'll
stay.
see how that turns out.
We'll probably stay for a couple years. Then we shall return to Gotham to conclude our business.
We'll give a crazy man a vision of a bat. It'll be fine.
Exactly. So yeah, we see the cops miss them, and Santa Prisca, the general and Porter making their plans, and oh look, young Timothy has met a young lady.
No need to put a feather in your cap for that one. It's fine.
Consuela. Uh-oh. You know it's not going to end well. She's wearing a headband.
Gwen Stacy joke for those of you that don't know.
That's for DC stands. Yeah, that's Gwen Stacy joke. And then Alfred Bruce has been locked in the cave for 10 days, several times each waking hour, and he sleeps little. Alfred Pennyworth listens at the intercom connected to the huge cave beneath the house. He has heard movement, breathing, grunts, sometimes what sounded like a sob. He wants to...
Mind your business, Alfred.
He's worried about him.
He's got that jar of Vaseline. He is fine.
Poison it.
Exactly.
Yeah, Alfred's just cleaning. Man, you can have all your parties, Manny. You know he can be around for a month. Come on.
That's what I would have done. Alfred's better than me. That's all I know.
And then we see, oh look, they're gonna give the Venom to Junior here because Porter's refined it. Now it's an injection.
See?
Getting closer to what we know. That's right. Bruce has been in the cave for 15 days. Oh look, and then Junior's meeting with Consuela again. Both their mothers are dead because it's a comic.
Or a Disney movie, not sure which.
True. Aww. Yeah, they start making up. And the Porter's like, well, Timothy seems smitten. And the general's about time. I was beginning to think the whelp was a, sissy. Oh.
Canceled!
What was the name of the girl? Porter's daughter? I just hope she doesn't give him a disease. You know how these people are. Filthy.
Canceled!
I know.
What in the...
This Thunderbolt.
Bro, can you just imagine?
This Thunderbolt Ross looking MFer.
I know.
Look. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Russell. He said, yeah, General, not Ross. Oh, yeah, but look. Oh, Timmy's up the...
Timmy's stuck in a well, guys.
Timmy! He's lifting 150 pounds now. And Bruce has been in the cave for 20 days.
That cave cannot smell great.
I know. But yeah, the drug's been improved, putting it right into the veins, and then the surgeries begin. The insertions in 2 weeks.
Ew.
Ew. And the general, will he survive? Porter, doesn't matter.
Damn.
I know. And then,
that's some evil cold scientist ish right there.
And then day 25, Alfred's called Bruce. It's been more than 3 weeks. I said a month.
He got used to it.
Seriously.
He's hanging upside down now. I am one with the bats.
Can you imagine if he just never came out? He just came up for food every so often. Like Howard Hughes.
Oh. Jars of his own pee. Okay.
And then, oh look, things aren't so good with Tim and Consuela. Oh, she's changed headbands.
Now, is there a bridge nearby?
Oh, don't be so rough. I can be any way I want to be. Tell me the poem again. I forget it because it's stupid.
And the meathead has fully evolved.
Oh yeah, Timmy's looking big now. He's looking about as big as Batman, if not bigger. And Porter comes to get him. And Consuelo's like, I don't think I want to see you no more. And Porter's like, oh, you'll see her again. I promise.
Ooh.
Look at that grin.
I smell a refrigerator. I smell a refrigerator.
You might have if it hadn't gone through the wall and the issue back. And then day 30, Alfred, last month this would have been the final day. And Bruce's like, no, I said tomorrow. So then we see Timmy's had the surgeries and he's all wrapped up like a mummy. And then his father tests it, shoots him right in the chest.
Damn.
But they had the subcutaneous implant.
Subcutaneous, there you go.
Sometimes it takes me a minute, but I got it. Yeah, the subcutaneous implants are barely dented.
Whoa.
That's
pretty damn big.
Why didn't Bane have those?
Did you see those pecs? He didn't need them.
Yeah, but they weren't bulletproof.
He got a downgrade. He couldn't afford the full package, see?
That's just a really nice package.
Nothing about Bane is aesthetically pleasing. There, I said it.
Whoa, that's pretty damn big.
They big units.
Bane skips leg days. # fight me.
Nailed it.
Because I know Lilith likes it long.
I hate it here.
And you'll never. Oh, and Timmy says he'll never feel pain again. The alterations to your nervous system make pain an impossibility.
Ooh.
You're a lucky man. You're a lucky boy, Timothy. No, a lucky man. No, that's not quite right either. You're a lucky Superman.
Get out.
I know.
Get the F out.
All right, it's the end of the month. Alfred opens that clock, and here comes Bruce.
Oh, that is not a sight for sore eyes, is all I'm saying.
Looks like Alan Moore.
Oh! Don't make the wizard curse you, bro. Leave it alone. You know who I easily could have seen writing this one, too? Grant Morrison. I'm just saying, it's kind of weird, wacky.
What?
Grant Morrison, you know, he's weird, wacky. He
yeah.
this, too.
Oh, he's done every drug known to man.
Exactly.
Russell says, come on, the original Lucha mask is great, even though Bane is far from his favorite.
Okay, fine. I will concede the mask is great, but everything else about that is very unappetizing to a lady's eyes.
Nacho!
I mean, that would have been hilarious if that's who they would have got to play Bane. That would make the movie 10 times better. I'm just saying. Dark Knight Rises, awesome. Jack Black is Bane. Here for it.
But Bruce said he's okay, and Alfred's like, oh, remarkable weight loss.
And it's all muscle, too. That's not good for anybody.
I know. Alfred's like, you want me to make you some steak and potatoes? And then he's like, not yet. I want to take a long shower first, and then some toast and hot tea. Then I'll go sit.
You gotta take it easy.
They say he's gonna go sit out in the sun.
Sunshine is good for you, so yeah.
Then we see Consuela's back. She's basically telling Timmy no, so
I don't like this.
I know. At first he's choking her, and then he just like bashes her against the wall. The general serves her right. She shouldn't have been so standoffish.
Issues with women, red flag.
Oh, I think he has issues with everyone. He's like, oh, if we can make that weakling a man, we could do it to anyone. That's his son he's talking about.
So many issues to unpack. Those are your genes, buddy. I don't know how to tell you.
But then we see Bruce back at the house, however long later. Alfred's like, oh, you're filling out the costume again. Yes, convalescence is over. A cause for lamentation among Gotham's underworld. They don't have to worry just yet. I'm leaving the city. Huh? Says he's going after Porter and Slaycroft.
Oh.
May I ask why? Surely they no longer pose a threat, but they do. They will as long as they're free, because I can't forget what happened to me while I was in the cave. What I became, and I won't be able to rest until I know they can't do that to me again. Throws on that cowl. Let's get to work. All right.
A junkie's revenge.
Seriously. Oh, you know it gets wild because look, part 4 in issue 19, man, him fighting a shark.
As I said, it comes full circle. We got that shark repellent.
Oh, nice.
It's super connected. Wait a minute.
Old roads lead back to Esser.
We're doing me now.
Poor Charlie. He'll never hear this, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's Batman. He'll never hear this.
Pirates, hard.
I'm not talking about Damien.
So part 4, yeah, we see the general has Timmy and a bunch of his other soldiers just like killing like the villagers.
Poor villagers.
But he actually gave the one guy a gun. Where'd they get the gun? I gave it to him. It's a combat test.
Well, he's bulletproof anyway, so you know.
What's that old lady saying? She's his grandmother. Yeah, 'cause
Oh.
they brainwashed the one guy to kill his own grandmother.
I don't know. Maybe Batman should have stayed in Gotham. This crowd seems pretty tough.
I know. Well, before he leaves town, he goes to see his boo.
Of course, he needs a kiss for good luck. Duh.
Hey, so Gordon's like, I was sure you were dead. It's been 6 months. I was sick. I've recovered. All right. So what? So it took him 6 months to recover.
Well, he had to get it out of his system. He had to get back to a normal routine. He had to build up his weight.
And then he was on the pills. He was on the pills for like 3. So I mean, this was the better part of a year. This story.
Time doesn't matter in
I know
comics.
exactly, but it was 9 months.
He had a baby.
Seriously, himself.
He was reborn. Batman reborn. Don't give DC any ideas. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it.
Glad to hear it. I suppose this isn't the social call. You and I don't have social calls.
Yeah, we get to the point and we get gone. Sneaky link.
Any news about Porter and Slaycroft? The two said wanted to kill me. No, not a word. They've dropped off the face of the earth. They went to Santa Prisca. How do you know? I overheard them saying they were going to catch a plane that was leaving within the hour. I checked airports. A commercial flight to Haiti was the only possibility. And
why you gotta go drag Haiti into this, Batman?
Well, Gordon's like, they're in Haiti.
He said Cuba.
I know. Gordon's like, well, then they're in Haiti. No. The next day, 2 men answering their descriptions chartered a Haitian plane that filed a flight plan for Santa Prisca.
He's like, let me finish.
And Gordon's like, well, then they're beyond our reach. You know, they don't extradite. And Batman, beyond your reach, Commissioner, not beyond mine.
See, get it? Because he's Batman.
I'll bring the money man back.
Yeah, I'm having flashbacks to a much better time.
They travel to Hong Kong and bring that money man back. Oh.
Somebody get the skyhook.
Seriously. But then in Santa Prisca, we see Porter popping pills.
Never get high on your own supply. Has no one ever listened to Biggie?
But he's like, what, you're worried I'll become an addict, General? I do not deal in common narcotics. I alter the realities of the human body. But this one he's taking is supposed to increase intelligence.
Oh, that never turns out well.
And I confess to, stifle some emotional inconveniences.
Extra bad. No conscience. All ego. This is bad.
And he tells the General, you should allow me to create something for you. If nothing else, I can ease your constipation problem.
Whoa! Did he just say he had a stick up his poop?
Damn!
It's in his prison purse. That prison purse is safe, homie.
I like living with my pain, mister. Then I'm sure
I'm just gonna say subtext and move along.
Hey-oh. But yeah, it's like yeah, he's been giving them a hypnagogic formula to the troops. The general called them to attention 9 hours ago, and they haven't moved the muscle. Porter, nor will they until they drop from starvation. So yes, they have the perfect army, perfectly conditioned, perfectly trained, and above all, perfectly disciplined.
He's got basically the Unsullied, y'all. Game of Thrones fans, y'all know.
We'll take them somewhere to prove themselves. Africa, perhaps. And when I have demonstrated I'm right, we shall return to America triumphant. Using my methods, our army will crush the godless hordes that threaten us.
I don't know what's going on.
So yeah, Slaycroft gets to prove he's a good general, and Porter gets to demonstrate to every scientist who ever lived stands in his shadow.
Unethical, but sure, okay.
Exactly. Then we see Bruce and Alfred taking a private plane to Santa Prisca. But he's filling Alfred in. Yeah, Porter lost his position at Gotham University after he fed 2 grad students his homebrewed dope. One's dead, a suicide. The other's severely psychotic. Man, that Gotham University is just like the villain factory. I mean, Porter, Jonathan Crane.
I mean, well, it's in Gotham, so what do you expect?
Oh yeah,
you finally make it to college. You know, you've grown up this whole time in Gotham. What are you expecting?
Half the businesses in Gotham are villain factory.
Basically.
And then General, he was the training officer at Fort Fritz. A routine investigation found that no fewer than 18 troops had died under his command over many years, of course. There was also something about his wife's death in an explosion. Oh, he blew her up.
That's cold.
But yes, he would have been court-martialed, but the court-martial board was impressed by his war record.
Boys will be boys.
Exactly. But then the general's like, yeah, my people tell me, yeah, some American that rented a private plane. It's Batman. And Porter's like, no, it's not him. It can't be. What I did with the drugs I gave him, he's in a rubber room somewhere drooling.
No, he's in a rubber mask coming to kick your ass.
Then the general's like, I take no chances, and he picks up a crate and pulls out a big bazooka.
Nice.
It's especially effective against small twin-engine aircraft. Oh, look at this. They're flying over the compound. Alfred's has the stick now because Bruce is playing all king of the selfies.
Save it for Peter, bro.
So many drops. But thanks to that telephoto lens, Bruce sees, the general's going to shoot them down. So he throws a parachute on Alfred and throws him out of the plane. Master Bruce, if you want my resignation, you might ask for it.
Alfred knows he loves it.
So yes, they both get out of the plane, and he sees Alfred's floating toward the north end of the island. So Bruce tries to take himself to the south side. Then he gets in costume because he's like, Bruce Wayne probably wouldn't be recognized. But when he's Batman,
exactly.
But when he's Batman, things like invading an island full of hostile renegades doesn't seem insane. Let me see. I don't think it's the troops. It's just a bunch of locals with some guns.
Racist.
So Batman takes them out pretty easily. and Porter's still like, it can't be him. So the general goes to the guard, to his troops, and tells them to go get Batman. Or no, you will patrol the perimeter until further orders. You will know when to pass in or out. You will not sleep until further orders.
No sleep till Brooklyn
Till Santa Prisco.
to Gotham.
Oh, no sleep. Yes.
Are they not factoring in Superman? Like
I guess.
Green Lanterns, Wonder Woman,
The
Aquaman,
Flash.
Flash.
I mean, come on. He's a military man. Captain Atom. Come on.
All 6 Captain Atom fans are like, wait, there was a podcast. There was a disturbance in the force.
Don't tempt me, Lil Hellfire.
You and the you and the Green Lantern boys can do that one.
I will make you do nothing but Captain America and Captain Atom.
I could. Captain Atom's not bad, to be honest. I actually just finished a run.
That 80s.
It's got to be bagged and boarded, but I actually just got like the last of that run.
What, the 80s stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, they got a call. They found something very useful to use against the masked man.
A shark.
Well, Batman finds
With
Alfred.
lasers.
Freaking shark, freaking laser beams. But no, Batman finds Alfred's parachute, but no Alfred.
Well.
So then he just sits up in a tree. Years ago in the Orient, he learned how to bring his brainwaves to the theta state. He is perfectly relaxed yet awake. Remember, because Batman doesn't need to sleep. But then the general's
Bull hockey, but okay.
But then the general's flying over with a helicopter, and they have Alfred hanging from the helicopter. We have your friend. In an hour, he will be made to bleed, and he will be put into the water at the southern tip of the island where sharks feed. He will be eaten alive unless you rescue him.
This is legit a Batman 66 plot. # fight me.
Seriously. So yeah, we see Batman shows up. Alfred's tied to like 2 poles.
No, not those kind of poles. Get your minds out of the gutters, guys. I know you listen to this podcast, but get your mind out of the gutters.
Boy, isn't that ironic? Lil said that. All right. So yeah, Batman goes all got to fight Ra's al Ghul and takes his shirt off and swims out. Porter's like, "Hey, you want some pills?" No.
Want some candy, little boy?
Oh, look at him kicking sharks in the nose.
Oh my God, who does he think he is? Slade from Arrow?
But he frees Alfred and tells him, "Go." Oh, look, he breaks one of the poles and he stabs one of the sharks with it. So the other sharks feed on their buddy. And there's 2 fishermen like tormenting them to like knock them into the ocean. If you have any shark repellent, I suggest you use it now. No, this ain't no 66, Lil. He has no shark repellent.
No, I'm just like, where's a Robin when you need one?
Sir, we should better prepare for next time. Yes, we need a decoy. Let's go to the circus. So he tells Alfred, when we get to the beach, I'll create a distraction. You run into the woods, find the boat, and get off the island. Haiti is due north.
I don't know how they're going to feel about a white man showing up, but all right.
The boy's British.
Even worse. What do you mean? At least he's not French, but still, that's. You have better luck being an American in Haiti. I'm just saying.
Well, Alfred knows. How to change his accent. And Porter's still offering him pills, and Batman just decks him.
He's like, bro, my willpower is stronger than yours. # deal with it, bro.
But then Junior comes up and knocks down Batman. Private Slaycroft, attention orders, execute him.
He's like, is that Timmy?
Timmy! So yeah, that's where the last issue 20 opens up. Yep, Timmy's coming at Batman. They're duking it out on the beach. Batman's leaping over.
This is a great fight sequence. I like it a lot.
Oh, yeah. Look, Timmy, I'm not running anymore. Let's talk.
He don't want to talk, homie.
He's like, he moved his head as he got punched. Otherwise, he'd be unconscious or dead. Look, Timmy, back in Gotham, you saved my life. You don't want to harm me now. And he's like asking them, what have you done to him? Trained him, improved him. Batman's thinking they made him a monster. Something beneath his skin, some kind of armor.
Some kind of
He can't be hurt.
unobtainium?
Some vibrational absorbing material. He can't be hurt. He won't be stopped. And Batman's feeling weak, woozy, exhaustion, and loss of blood from the shark wound. Look at Porter pushing him right into Timmy's fist. Saying,
jerk.
Batman around the neck, and his dad's like,
Finish him.
he literally says it. Direct quote, kids.
Finish him.
And Porter's like, wait, he's worth more as a guinea pig than a corpse. So General tells him to drop him. You have something in mind? Several somethings. They take his utility belt. Oh god. Then they're gonna take
the belt.
I know. Then they're gonna take his mask off, and Porter's like, no, I'd rather have him remove it. When he does, it will be like a woman surrendering her virtue.
Whoa! What in the pickup artist garbage is that?
Damn.
Idiots.
I thought he was taking like mental enhancers. What was that? Viagra? X? So yeah, they have the soldiers pick him up. I have a nice new home for him. Follow me. Oh, they take him back to the Spanish fort that was built in the 17th century. They put him in the dungeon.
Ooh, not the dungeon. He
With
only
a
dated Selena Kyle. It's fine.
Ew. Yeah, there's a big metal door, and there's a like a steel chain that opens. You have to pull down the steel chain to open it. The walls are 50-pound blocks of the walls are the stone walls are 50-pound blocks reinforced with steel. The other way out is through the door. And the chain's the only way to open the door. And notice that pipe near the ceiling? Soon water will begin to trickle through it. Within 24 hours, it will fill the chamber. No.
Elaborate plan is elaborate and will fail. Alert.
The door weighs 800 pounds. Not too much for a very strong man to lift, but perhaps too much for... Maybe not much for a very...
Well, no, like at strongman competitions,
True.
they actually do get like 1,000, 1,200
Yeah.
pounds.
That's what you have to do. Pull it down and pass it through the hook in the floor. That will keep the door lifted. Of course, you can't do that, can you? Unless you take these. And he pulls out a pill bottle.
He's gonna use his brain, bro. Don't worry about it. It's
I know.
fine.
But Batman's like, the pills alone won't do it. I need weights to build muscle tone, high protein food, some blankets. The cold will sap my strength. And Porter's like, yeah, you'll get them. One more thing, the pills, I've improved them. They're far more addictive than the ones you used in Gotham. See you in 3 days. You or your corpse. Then they leave.
Wouldn't it be funny if we just saw a corpse?
But yeah, the door slams shut, and then he's like wondering, oh, did Alfred make it off the island? Then we see Alfred rowing the Haiti.
Row, row, row your boat gently the F away from me.
The general's like, oh, wait a minute. What if he takes the pills and still fails?
Oh, well.
Controls are for lesser minds, the timid who have no faith in their own conclusions.
So he's in the mess around. He really doesn't care what he finds out stage. Okay.
Oops.
Not very scientific, but okay.
We see Batman taking the weight off the dumbbell and using it to flatten the bar. hard work. The pills would make it go faster, but he ignores them. Alfred finds a ship. And Batman's working on the mortar in the walls, but then an hour ago, the water started trickling in.
Ruh-roh.
Porter and Slaycroft just hanging around. Oh yeah, Alfred reached his ship, and the captain's like, "Can you pay for your passage? I don't run a charity ship." Certainly, the moment we reach port, I shall give you 10,000 American dollars.
Which is like $1 million in 2021 money.
He's like, "Meanwhile, I want to use the radio." So yeah, Batman's pulled some stones from the wall. He's working with the bed frame. They're looking at them pills. The pills. He's been here a day and a half. He's been here a day, and they don't begin to work for at least 24 hours. I call BS on that.
I'm like, didn't they work instantly the last time?
That first day of the first issue, didn't they?
Before he even got home.
The drive home, yeah, exactly.
Convenient plot point is convenient but illogical.
And if these are more addictive, aren't they more powerful?
Oh well, you can always ask the cigarette companies. You can always up the addictive factor without doing anything else to the formula.
Yeah.
So, in fairness,
It would be so easy, and it would almost certainly save his life. Then he remembers. Let me see a picture of him drooling on that cave floor. Seriously. What he became, nothing is worth that. Not even life itself. You see him start ripping up his cape. Then we see Alfred calling Gordon using his best Batman impression.
Hey, boo.
Use your influence. Get the military to Santa Prisca.
Really? Jim Gordon? The Jim Gordon we know and love?
And Gordon's like, no, sorry, I can't do it. It'd be an act of war. Then we
Should he
see.
have just called Superman?
I don't know. Have they met yet?
It doesn't matter. When in doubt, call Superman.
But we see Porter and Slaycroft are fighting now. I want the notes. You can steal the fruits of my genius. Exactly. You've become unreliable.
Ooh, the
Go-
plot thickens.
Go stuff yourself. You know that's edited.
Oh, is that the? Oh, okay. That's our new one. That's the curse word for this podcast. Go stuff yourself.
Mother stuffer.
Nice.
I learned certain interrogation techniques in South America. You will give me what I want. What is this, love? And Batman thinks it's time because he took strips of blanket or wound around the wire from the mattress, supported the bed. He starts putting the cement blocks on there.
See, big brain.
And we see Slaycroft has convinced Porter to talk, put all his notes on his tape recorder. But Batman's in trouble. 12 big blocks, and it's not enough. He can't get the leverage underwater to dig out anymore. So he has to add his own weight and then pray and get through the door before it slams shut. Which,
Well, I mean, it is a Batman book. So.
well, yeah, it's the Batman does it. And then we see two of those soldiers outside the door. Batman jumps over them, gets outside. He should run toward the ocean, look for a way off the island. But if he does, Slaycroft and Porter, more Timmies, what they did to him, not going to happen. So he had to get past the troops. He goes up to the window. But yeah, Slaycroft says he's going to test Porter's information. If it proves valid, you will die swiftly and painlessly. If it does not, you will die in agony.
Yikes.
And this pretty again, Batman through a window. Put it down.
Oh, that reminds me of a joke I saw about the Snyder Cut. They were like, when Flash goes through the window, they go, the reason why Flash goes through the window is because Windows no longer support Flash.
Yes. Yes, I saw that.
I think that was my favorite Snyder Cut meme, actually. I was like,
Oh,
that was funny.
You see that meme I put up today? It's from friends Phoebe and Rachel running in the park. Phoebe's running all crazy, and she's Ezra Miller, and Rachel's every other Flash who knows how to run.
Exactly.
check out Capes and Lunatics episode 202 for our big roundtable Snyder Cut review. But Batman telling Slaycroft, put the knife down after I gutted you. Of course, Batman disarms this old man. But then the general's like, Private Slaycroft, attention to orders. Porter's even, don't let him say it. You did it. You took the pills. You did. You must have. As Batman just like throws the drugs at him. But Porter gets his final revenge because he plays back the tape recorder of the general's voice saying, pathetic weakling, I know you want to kill me. So basically, Timmy kills his own father.
Oof,
Port-
Oedipus complex. Good thing his mom's dead.
Porter takes his own drugs. The kid didn't deserve any of this. But he steals a helicopter, leaves Santa Prisca with Porter. I'll win in the end, because you swallowed the drugs I dropped. You saw? Yes, and I'm glad. So I guess Batman calls Gordon, tells him where to find the chopper, and Porter.
Get to the chopper.
But yeah, later at police headquarters, we see Gordon saying, he's incredibly strong for a frail-looking man. He actually bent one of the cell bars, but wasn't quite strong enough to escape.
Nice try, buddy.
He went into some kind of withdrawal. The doctors tried diazepam, Thorazine. Nothing did any good. They say he screamed for 2 days. Finally, his entire system collapsed. He died in intensive care. Gordon's like, another victory. You should be happy. But of course, it ends with him all staring out the window, temperamental goth. He is remembering a girl named Sissy and a boy, Timmy. And the shadows he inhabits are cold and filled with grief.
Tear.
Aww. It's like, if I had human emotion, this is where I would cry right now.
Exactly. If.
I know. All right, we're going long, but yes, we do have feedback from Russell.
Hey-o.
Because thank you, somebody has to send in Batman feedback.
Because Ray won't.
Oh, he's busy, especially at least when the Batman stuff comes around.
Convenient.
I know. All right, everyone. So yes, this is Russell from the Tomes of Evil podcast. So if you want all your villain talk, go check out Tomes of Evil. All right. Let's see what Russell had to say.
Howdy, Capes and Lunatics. It's Russell, and I'm here to give my feedback for Batman Venom. This is a classic Batman story for more than one reason. It's a story that I don't even think that Ray could turn his nose up at. It's real dark. It's real somber. It's real. It's a doozy. I guess I'll start with the art. The art is fantastic. It's just crystal clear, very realistic, and the drawing of Batman when he is like succumbing to the venom is just nightmare fuel. That's for sure. The story, my God, this pushes Batman to his absolute limit, and it does it without any supervillains at all. It's all because of addiction. A very real, a very serious problem in this world, and we see the world's greatest detective have to fight it. Some of my favorite, I guess favorite is not the right word. Some of the most memorable moments to me, obviously, that just heartbreaking opening scene where Batman fails to save little Sissy Porter. Just get you. I loved it when Batman threw that refrigerator through the apartment wall onto that car. That was great. The villains in this are well, I was going to cuss, but I know this is a T-rated show, so I'll just say they're pieces of crap.
This podcast is
Maybe
rated
that's
teen.
why they didn't have any of Batman's rogues in this, because it would just make them too unlikable. Yeah, Dr. Porter and what's the guy's name? General Slaycroft. Slaycroft looks exactly like Thunderbolt Ross, and he also has the same end game to where he wants to create a super soldier, which is pretty hilarious in hindsight. Yeah, I loved Batman finally having enough willpower to reject the drugs, and that scene where he calls Alfred on the payphone crying, asking for his help, asking him to lock him up for 30 days. Yeah, it's so moving. One of my favorite lines in this is when Batman first returns home after failing to save Sissy Porter. He says, "I failed, Alfred," and Alfred says, "Did you think that you never would?" And that's something you got to think about. Is Batman is not infallible. Batman is not perfect. Um, yeah, great story. It's very somber. Uh, there's no real happy ending. Anyway, yeah, for a grade. I would give this an A minus. I think it drags a little too long. They could have wrapped it up a little bit sooner. I thought it was strange that Batman really only had to fight one of the Proto Banes and not all of them, but I guess that would have been too much. Also, I know that this is always the argument with Batman stories, but pretty sure Superman could have just came in there and just wiped out those guys pretty quick. But again,
Thank you, Russell.
Batman book. But yeah, I'd give it an A minus, and looking forward to giving feedback on the Cult up next. So this is Russell from Tomes of Evil signing off, and have a good one, Phil and Lilith. Looking forward to giving more feedback in the future. Bye.
Thank you, Russell.
Wow. See, it's not that hard to send in Batman feedback, Ray. But yes, I do believe, yes, Russell's already sent in his next feedback. So
I definitely gave this a B plus, by the way. It did drag. But the shark cover is my favorite cover, so
yes.
really love the art. They definitely could have trimmed this down though. I totally agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think? Maybe 4 issues?
4 issues max.
Yeah.
Unless you're gonna make it an actual event and flesh like the actual Doctor in general out, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and like Russell was, I mean, this is a year 1 story, so there isn't a Robin. There isn't like
no
any
cannon fodder.
Yeah,
There's Alfred.
there's not like really any of the rogues in this, so it's like you really need 5 issues.
It's an interesting idea. I totally love
yeah.
the Venom idea, the concept of super soldiers, you know, all that thing against Batman specifically, because, you know, if you think about it, that's kind of his goal when he was training.
Exactly.
Without the drugs, as far as we know.
Yeah.
But it's suspect.
But I mean, yeah. So again, I don't know if that was Denny's plan to be like, hey, show you where the Venom comes from before we get Bane, or if it was just a happy.
I definitely think that Bane came from this, but
definitely.
I don't think it turned out how he actually wanted to, because Bane is very uninteresting. I feel like he had a lot of interesting plans for this Venom thing, you know? But then maybe again, Marvel stole his thunder. I don't know with the Venom.
I mean, that would have been interesting if Bane had been one of those like soldiers, and it's like, oh, Batman.
Exactly. Like when you look back and like, I wonder why they like it could have been Timmy.
No, it could have been,
or any of those soldiers from the village.
Yeah, like the other ones besides Timmy, like Russell would
without
say,
that stupid Batman dream that Bane's motivation is. Like,
and
that's the thing about Bane.
Yeah, because Batman didn't defeat the other soldiers. It's like, oh, he could have stopped them in year 1, but he did.
Exactly. Your
All right.
your actions have consequences.
Exactly. All
But
right.
on that note, we should probably pay some bills and get the hell out of here. So
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll pull up the schedule for what's next. Oh, Russell said between Batman, the Question, and the Shadow, Denny knows how to write these street level heroes.
absolutely agree.
Yep. Definitely. All right. So we next time we will yes, like Russell said, Batman the Cult, the 4-issue miniseries. Russell's already sent in his feedback. So
Suck it, Ray.
yeah, one Ray. Then in 2 weeks, Detective Comics 613. I don't want to say it's trash, but it's a story about trash. Ooh.
Finally, someone addresses it.
And then in 3 weeks, Lilith will not be here, but our friend Ray from Into the Night, the Moon Knight podcast. Yes. Cover the idiot route.
Sorry, Ray. I convinced y'all to host swap just so I could get out of that one.
Tricky Dicky.
Oh man, I told you every time I should pull a reversal on him anytime he mentions Moon Knight. I should believe him.
If you don't do it, I'm going to be very upset.
Nice. All right. So yes, there's the schedule coming up. So yes, send your thoughts like Russell did. Email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, follow We Are the Night, the
Batman podcast.
On Facebook, Twitter. You can find links to all of the social media for all of our various shows. The YouTube channel, you can watch us do this live. Recorded live. But you can see our faces. You can see find links to the Patreon, all kinds of silliness going on there. Links to merchandise.
Stay hydrated. It's nobody's business what you drink in the Zoom meeting.
Sounds personal. All in one place. That Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. Oh, and also check out our new and improved Capes and Lunatics and Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks pages on the new Southgate Media Group website.
Oh, what a kiss up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And please, what? I'm not kissing up. Anyway, please support our sponsors. Tweak the Audio.
Get yourself some quality HD headphones, in-ear headphones. If they made over the ear, I would totally... Come on, exactly. Tweet.
Yes, hear them sharks coming. And be like the Batman and hunt a killer.
Michelle Gray needs your help. I guess we're still doing this panoramic thing, so stay in. It's an escape room in a box. Great cheap date to have.
Ooh. And also, if you just want a nice quiet day to yourself, go pick up Pod Life the book, now digital paperback. Learn about the journeys of all professional podcasters and Rob Southgate.
Third best Southgate.
Ew. Again, we don't know his parents. How dare you give him third? So yes, go pick that up on Amazon. And when you do, if you're on the Amazon Daily like Lil Hellfire, use the link for Southgate Media Group right down there in the show notes. Help us support this show, the network, and of course, that fancy man with the constipation problem, Rob. Southgate.
Make it rain. So says Master Doom. Please kick me in the pants.
Nobody tell Rob. I don't want to be canceled.
Why did your eye drift over to my box? Mark my words.
Oh, please. If we push enough tweaked audio or whatever, man, we can say whatever we want. All right, Lil, where can people find you?
If you nerds want to hang out with me on the interwebs, you can find me on Twitter, not live tweeting Batwoman anymore, but The Flash and perhaps Superman and Lois. Hang out with me on Instagram at LilithHellfire86. And then, of course, if you're looking for spicy memes from a millennial who needs to not be on TikTok, at LilithHellfire69 on TikTok and also on the gram.
Because Ray likes it hard.
Hey man, who you gonna call to come get a pit bull out of a gangster's yard? A crazy white girl? Not me. Definitely not me.
No, it's punchline, isn't it?
Gimme.
All right. Thank you for joining us, kids. Again, come back for the cult next time. Bring your Kool-Aid and join us next time, kids.
Remind me, I should have Kool-Aid for that episode.
I can't remember the last time I drank Kool-Aid. I was a kid. Oh, I'll save that for the Spider Cast wrestler. These all pumped for what we have planned for May now on Spider Cast
because Disney can't put Black Widow out on freaking time.
Well, July is going to be the.
Yeah. I'm not paying $30 for that.
Go take that. Was it next year we get Pattinson as the Batman?
If we're lucky.
All right, kids. Come back next week. Same bat time. Same bat
channel.
The,
we are the night.
The Batman Podcast.